Hey, this is Total Shakespeare. So, hey, I'm out here in the woods. Probably wondering why I'm doing all these videos out in the woods. Well, it's the only way I can escape the office. So, wanted to talk to you about, um, you know, why I think children, well, not why I think, I'm sorry, why I know children are frustrated in school. Because they're not making sense of the world. They're told one thing and they're seeing something else. When a child takes a class like Shakespeare, they're like, I don't get this. How does this apply to my real life? I don't know anybody that is required to know Romeo and Juliet or Hamlet in their job. You know, I know Bob, the guy in advertising, he doesn't have to know Romeo and Juliet. My uncle's in insurance, he doesn't have to know Hamlet. And they don't get it. But if you teach somebody something that makes sense, that I think should be taught in school, like personal finance, which is hardly ever taught, like taxes, like how to pay your taxes. The student is immediately going to be like, yeah, you know what, when I make my $1 million, yeah, I'm going to have to pay taxes, and I want to know how I can get out of paying the most amount of taxes. And that excites people. That motivates people. That gets people to listen. But delivering shit like Romeo and Juliet just doesn't work. And then when they get out of school and they're in the real world and dealing with these real problems, they start to appreciate and recognize what they've learned. The guy's there, student comes out of school and he's at his office and maybe it's his first year and he's got to pay his taxes. He goes, you know what, I remember this. I remember this in school. But I don't think for a moment he sits there and someone delivers him, the play of Romeo and Juliet, and he goes, oh, you know what? I wish I took that class. Shit. I wish I took that class because now I got to figure out what to do with this Romeo and Juliet play. Somebody just handed it to me. I build bridges. I'm an engineer, and somebody handed me this play by this William Shakespeare guy. I don't know. And God, I wish I took that class. See, that's not the reality. That doesn't work like that. The reality is, guy's sitting in his office saying, I don't know how to do these taxes. I don't know what the hell's going on around here. I wish somebody taught me this. I wish I knew. Because now I got to get this done, and it's frustrating. But that's not how, the school runs, and the school system runs. They just say, sit down, shut up, and listen. And they always say, you'll understand one of these days. You'll understand. But you know what? I've been out of school for quite a while, and I don't understand why I had to learn the pharaohs of Egypt. I like Egypt. I'm interested in Egypt. I went to Egypt when I was 15 years old. I'm fascinated. But I like to watch the documentaries. And I don't want to be quizzed about it. I don't want to be tested about it. And I want to be told, this pharaoh begat that pharaoh, begat that pharaoh, begat that pharaoh. I don't really care. It's not that important. I don't really need to know that in my life. It's entertaining to know it on a documentary, but I don't need to know it for my job. What I need to know is how to get a job, how to interview, how to negotiate for a raise, how to pay my taxes, how to get along with my employees, how to get along with my neighbors, or how to take care of my kids or my parents. These are the things I really need to know. I don't need to know the hypotenuse of a triangle. I don't really know that. I mean, if they showed me how to tack and sailing, okay. If they want to show me how to get 3 balls in the corner pocket in pool, I'm all right. That's fine. Don't give me this abstract geometry shit. I don't get it. I didn't get it then, and I don't get it now. I don't need it now. I work in marketing. I don't need to know. And I don't need to know igneous rocks. I don't even know if that's the right word. I don't know. I don't need to know cumulus clouds. I just look up. I could do the weather better than the friggin' weathermen. I look up and I go, you know what? It's going to rain. I know that because I just know these things. But I don't need to take a whole science class to tell me about it, the ins and outs, as if I'm going to be a weatherman. I'm not. I'm going to go do something else. So this is the frustration that a lot of people have, and not only as students, but as adults. I mean, there's nothing more frustrating to be taught one thing, bunch of skills or bunch of knowledge that you're never going to use, and then get out of school and require a bunch of knowledge that nobody ever taught you. I mean, isn't that incredibly frustrating? I mean, I think an alien civilization would be like, you guys are absolutely nuts. That's the most retarded thing I've ever heard of in my life. You're going to teach people a bunch of stuff they're never going to need in their real lives. And then you're not going to, and you're going to withhold, you're not going to teach them the stuff they really need to function in life. That's the most retarded thing I've ever heard of. And we all buy into it. You know, and I think it's high time that everybody takes responsibility. I think if you're a student out there, you better start studying stuff that you need to know to function in life. You need to know how to negotiate. You need to know how to sell yourself. You need to know how to get along with people and have interpersonal communications. And for parents, you need to figure out how to supplement your child's crappy education. Buy books, buy videos, or encourage them to watch videos about, you know, how to get along with people, job interviews, negotiation, storytelling. I mean, if you can tell a good story, God, you know, that's going to get you very far. Salesmanship. These are things we need to know every single day. We need to know how to sell ourselves. But they don't teach that in school. And then, you know, public speaking. That's a skill that most people are scared of. And rightly so, because they were never taught at an early age. We first, you know, grade school, first grade, we have show and tell, and then that's it. You know, when I was in college, they had one class. They had one public speaking class. If I wanted to take it again, or take another public speaking class, I would have to take that again, but I would have to fail it the first time. Well, I didn't fail it the first time. I got an A in the first time, so I couldn't take it again. And it wasn't like I super enjoyed the class, but I knew it was something I needed to have. But they don't teach that in school. They don't require that. They're so busy requiring calculus and geometry and chemistry and geology, all the crap we don't need. We don't need those classes. We don't need to know that stuff. But we need to know how to present ourselves. You know, in every job, you're going to have to present yourself. You're going to have to speak in front of people. And if you don't have that ability, that's going to hamper you from getting promotions. You know, Warren Buffett said taking the Dale Carnegie course was the best thing he's ever did. The Dale Carnegie course helps people speak in front of other people. Presentations, public speaking. They don't teach you that in school. You know, and that's what makes people so frustrated. And that's why kids are so angry. And then they get out of school and they're still angry. And so parents need to take initiative, take responsibility to help their kids and not buy into the school and what the teachers tell you. You know, I think you should do your child's homework for them. All the geometry and just do their homework and then have them study up on Dale Carnegie and Warren Buffett and read biographies by well-known people, by Henry Ford and Nikola Tesla. That's the knowledge you need. Not about rocks and iron ore and crap like that. You can watch a documentary on that and get just as much knowledge. You don't need to solve these complex equations, you know, for you to have knowledge of chemistry. That's ridiculous. All right. That's enough for today. I will see you next time. Remember, go to noshakespeare.org.